quarter. Spiro Diaz, Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy. Rest of our TNT crew. Denver looking for the first sweep in their franchise history. Timberwolves have never been swept. Tavius Caldwell-Pope didn't get his first points granted the latter stages of the first half. Misfires on that shot. Denver Nuggets looking for the 4-game sweep. Didn't play all that well, Graham, in the first half, but they hold a 4-point lead.
I mean, the team was great, a little sloppy on the offensive end. But who can execute in the half court and obviously get stops will obviously determine the outcome here.
Jamal Murray starting to catch fire in that second quarter. Gives it to Jokic. Drop steps to spin hard. Reach-in foul. But we've had a couple of late whistles in this game. They've all appeared to be the correct whistle. But this one will be on Gobert as we throw it over to Stephanie.
Spiro, I spoke with head coach Chris Finch for the Minnesota Timberwolves and I asked him about the first half going into the second. He said that they were okay in the first half. They stayed competitive, but he wanted to see them finish better at the rim. A lot of times there's trying to finishing in traffic. They're not converting those shots. He said those need to be kickouts to the open shooters. He felt like they were fighting the game in the first half. He wants them to move the ball early because that will give them better shots. And of course, guys, the rebounding came up again. They are only down 3 in that category, but as you know from talking with Michael Malone, that's been one of the indicators for this series.
Stephanie, great stuff. What do you think, Brandon? And what are we looking for here in the second half in terms of adjustments, especially for Minnesota?
Well, I mean, Stephanie said it best. I mean, I think obviously they got to get to be more efficient on the offensive end. They looked confused at times, uncertain. And then defensively, like right there, Rudy Gobert, your 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Don't reach on that play. Just be big and make Jokic score against your length.
Conley, pretty little teardrop floater. He's got 7. 3-point lead for Denver. 90 seconds into the third quarter.
The last time down, Jokic, when he caught it, was double teamed. And we'll see if Minnesota continues to throw the double team at Jokic. You have to be careful.
Jokic gets the screen. Almost a clear out from Murray. And Jokic kisses it in off the glass. 17 points for the reigning 2-time league MVP. See the lineups with both coaches continuing their chess match. Karl-Anthony Towns puts it on the deck, working against Gordon. Resets to Conley with 5 to shoot. Conley sizes up Gordon. He'll launch. Way too much.
Another empty possession right there. A possession of confusion offensively for Minnesota.
Gordon, point blank. And a chance to extend to an 8-point Denver lead.
And that previous play right here, Jokic with the ball, a little screen and roll action, but this time Murray's setting the screen. And right there, Alexander Walker unable to stop the big fella. And then in transition, Jokic finding Gordon's sealing the smaller Conley right there. So Jokic with 2 great reads and, of course, getting stops, extending this lead.
Great. You know what was a crazy stat this year? Number 1 assist field goal tandem was Harden to Embiid. No surprise. Second was Jokic to Gordon this season.
And that is a surprise. You wouldn't expect that, but actually it shows you that Gordon and his influence and impact this year.
Reach in on Gordon at the other end. But again, it just goes back to what we were talking about. All the interchangeable parts, of course, Murray to Jokic is expected. The evolution of this offense, Michael Malone said he feels like a mad scientist on most nights, just trying to figure out how to put all these chess pieces in the right spot.
Well, particularly with Jokic. You have a guy, Jokic, as a center where you can move him around. He doesn't go to the one block all the time, or he's not predictable. There's pin downs. There's situations where guys will screen on him when he has the ball. So to have that kind of flexibility and ability to put in multiple sets and structures there offensively, Michael Malone really has used that to his advantage this season. It speaks to the depth and versatility overall that this team has.
It was interesting, Michael Malone talking about, how Joker was coming up and evolving before his first MVP a couple of years ago. He and Murray led the league as a pick and roll tandem with Jokic as the ball handler, which really was the first kind of aha moment for Malone. He said, boy, I've got something special in this kid. And of course, since then, he has just been off the charts. As Denver comes up empty there, their lead at 7. With just under 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Just how far can this Denver team run? They are stacked from top to bottom. Speaking of stacked, Anthony Edwards. He's got 13.
And he came out shooting 3-pointers early, but right there, taking advantage of the mismatch and getting to the paint. Going to need a steady diet of that from Edwards here in the second half.
Jokic spins away from Towns, sets the table for Caldwell Pope. Too strong, weak side rebound Towns. And for Karl Anthony Towns, his 7th rebound tonight. Denver, meantime, just 4 of 18 from deep. Offensive foul.
And obviously Edwards right there, frustrated, thought he was fouled the first time coming off that screen action. And right there,
easy call.
Called it on Towns.
Yeah,
called
Towns'
third there. Can't move setting that screen.
So Towns has to be careful here with still 8 and change left in the quarter. 5-point Denver lead. Murray works with Jokic, that deadly tandem. Now to Caldwell Pope. Jokic underneath to Murray. Reaching on Conley. And that's the third on Mike Conley.
And Jokic receiving the ball there at the top of the key. And Murray just makes a hard flex cut baseline. You know Jokic, when he gets that, if you keep moving, he will find you.
Edwards nearly the steal. Goes off a deflection, tried to on the backcourt. But no whistle. Jokic left open, and he buries a 3. 20 points for Jokic. Right, that's just way too much space.
It's too easy. Too easy. Hasn't needed to be the leading scorer this series. He's stepping up big for his team in this closeout game.
Gobert. Hard two-handed flush. But Minnesota needs some stops. They're down 6. Jokic gets the screen. Joker left open, and he sticks another 3.
And right there, a big-to-big screen and roll action. No help on that switch. Gobert in that drop coverage. You talk about Michael Malone using Jokic a number of different ways. And right now, the big fella showing off his range. And then in that screen and roll action, confusion defensively. Two-time MVP.
Get our FanDuel Live point spread for tonight's game. Started at 4.5. And that line is moving with this last little Denver spurt. Let's check in with Stephanie.
Spiro, I spoke with head coach Michael Malone and teammates all during the season about the passing prowess of Nikola Jokic. Coach told me that Jokic makes the perfect pass on time and on target. Aaron Gordon told me that you just have to be at the right spot and be open, and he's going to get you every single time. Well, when you talk to Michael Malone about it, and you talk about his ball handling drills and everything he sees in practice, Jokic told him, I used to be a fat point guard when I was younger.
Yeah, he shed some of that baby fat, Stephanie, and there's really no player like him. Big 3 out of the timeout as Minnesota trying to make their push here. Grant, you can start to feel the urgency level in this building. Down 0-3, trying to avoid the sweep. Off those back-to-back Jokic threes. 6-point game with 6 and change left in the quarter.
And because of what Stephanie talked about, Jokic and his passing, you have to be precise and disciplined defensively. You have to stick to your principles and understand that he will find you and make you pay if you're Minnesota.
Edwards, 16 points. Able to draw contact again. Those two go back a long way, both from the state of Georgia. Both started at Georgia as collegians. They built a very, very close bond. Work out together in the off seasons in Atlanta. What a moment for those two to go up against each other in this postseason series. Gobert, turn back. Michael Porter Jr., the deflection, and then last touched by Minnesota with still plenty of time to shoot.
And great awareness from Denver. You know, when Gobert gets going to the paint, he's not looking to pass. He's trying to finish. And Michael Porter Jr. with active hands there. Everything a struggle offensively right now for Minnesota.
Murray, the inbounder, deep in that corner. Another Jokic. What a tandem those two have been this season. Murray gets the screen, steps back. Jokic, couple of fakes against Gobert. Terrific defense. Jokic falling back, finds KCP somehow, and he misses right at the rim.
I couldn't tell if that was a shot or a pass there by Jokic.
What a find by Joker just to give him a chance, and that's Anderson at the other end. And here comes Minnesota throwing a punch.
And right now, Minnesota getting this crowd in the game. Defense, offense, all on the line.
Team to make the conference finals all the way back in 04. Of course, Alex Rodriguez and his business partner Mark Laurie slowly but surely becoming the majority owners as they will take the reins eventually from Glenn Taylor. Porter hesitates, misses, and the weak side cleared by Gobert.
An interesting defensive set right there. It looked like a zone or maybe a little confusion right there, but forcing Michael Porter Jr. in that tough shot in the corner. But here, offensively, it's got to be a lot of Edwards getting downhill and getting to the rim.
7 straight points for the Timberwolves. And Anthony Edwards starting to come alive. He's got 18. Jokic, here he comes barreling to the cup. Just makes everything look effortless. Jokic with 11 of his 25 points in the quarter. As we hit the 5-minute mark, Edwards starting to tee off, taking on Green. And he will step to the free throw line for Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards in attack mode here, understanding what's at stake. He's drawing about 6 fouls per game and attempting almost 10 free throws a game in this series, in large part because he's getting downhill with the speed and strength. When you stay aggressive and attack like that, you are rewarded by the officials.
See what he has done in this series. As he has been off the charts over the last couple of games. We'll get more from the league you love with NBA ID. Enjoy exclusive benefits like free ticket giveaways, merch deals, and behind-the-scenes stories curated just for you. Just scan the QR code or visit NBA.com/ID to create your free NBA ID today. Remember, Edwards kind of got off to a little bit of a slow, frustrating start to the season. Then, after Towns went down to the injury, Grant just took off. Career best season in scoring. Efficiency numbers are sensational. Can he will his team to a win here in Game 4?
Well, they're going to have to get stops. They're going to have to be precise here on defense and have maximum effort.
Bruce Brown turns the corner right into the teeth of the defense. Who touched it last? It's up Minnesota.
And you had 3 guys that looked like on Jokic trying to block him out. And he still was able to get in there and cause the deflection off the Timberwolves.
Anderson! Here he comes up the floor to the rack, lays it in! And we are tied! Mentioned Anderson struggles in Game 3. He's got 11 tonight. Little backdoor cut, and Brown was held. Grant, that's a terrific thought from Brown. He saw the seam to the basket.
We came to set a rip screen and slipped it real quickly there. Great awareness, and Edwards, all he could do to prevent him from an open layup was foul.
First personal against Edwards. Next one puts Minnesota in the penalty. Jokic sizes up Gobert. He's going to launch, and he buries it. What a shot by Jokic.
Wow.
28 for the 2-time MVP. Edwards looking for the answer. Splash! Nine ties, 9 lead changes, and it's starting to get intense here in Minneapolis.
Intense indeed, and the All-Stars are stepping up for both teams here. And how about just squaring up? I mean, he's doing that against Rudy Gobert, who's 7-1, and then Edwards comes right back and matches him with the 3-point shot. Those two I expect to continue to play big here down the stretch.
Austin Rivers, who hasn't played much in the series, checks in here for Chris Finch. Here comes Joker across the paint. Over Gobert, misses. Rebound Anderson. Hands off to Edwards. Spins. Here it comes to the wreck. The electricity in this kid's game off the charts. Timberwolves retake the lead. Jokic working against Gobert. That's going to put Minnesota in the penalty. And Nikola Jokic at the free throw line.
And Edwards right here, just downhill attack, beautiful spin move. And almost has that sort of downhill athleticism of a young Dwayne Wade at the shooting guard position. I mean, you can't stay in front of him. He's going to get to the paint whenever he wants. And when he's hitting that three-pointer, watch out.
And great again, he's still only 21 years old. He's still perfecting the nuances. You know, we know that he can rely on the freakish athleticism, but fine-tuning his perimeter shot, his footwork, you're just seeing it all come together.
And that gene where he's willing to take over, not scared of the moment, putting his team on his back. And they're going to need that here to try to force a Game 5.
1 of 2 at the line for Jokic. 1 point Minnesota lead. We come up on the 3-minute mark of this third quarter. Game 4, Denver trying to pull the sweep. Something they have never accomplished in 41 all-time series in their history. That is Gobert. Beautifully set up by Anderson. Minnesota playing with the desperation you expected. Murray gets a Gordon pick, will reset. Lofts it for Gordon. Doubled up on the box. Murray for the shoot. Murray elevates, and he buries it. Impossible shot from Murray. Wow.
I tell you.
Fantastic. Edwards drives, kicks. This is Anderson. All tied at 73. Edwards. Batted out by Gobert. Edwards into the corner. Rivers. That's good. Austin Rivers. Welcome to the party. There's the run from Minnesota over the last 5 and change. Murray to Gordon. He's going to launch. Too strong. Weak side retrieval by Edwards. Anderson back to Edwards. And he slithers in for 2. Matchup here against Murray. Edwards wants to take to the cup, misses. Fight for the loose ball. It's Gobert. And Minnesota with an extra possession as we move under a minute left in the quarter. Edwards kicks into the corner, extra feed, Rivers to Prince. Back to Edwards, corner pocket 3. This place was ready to explode. Timberwolves are out of fouls. Murray working against Rivers. Spins, fades. Anderson got a fingertip on it. For Minnesota ratcheting up its defense. Edwards, the handle, fires. Look at Gobert. Weak side, he cleans it up. 7-point game.
It has been all effort right here. You talk about the defense. Turning the screws. Playing hard. Extra effort, Rudy Gobert.
Double-double for Gobert, 10 and 11. Final seconds of the quarter. Here comes Murray. Jordan extends. He takes a shot. Looks like Kyle Anderson is shaken up. As DeAndre Jordan will ready himself at the free throw line, but now the concern on Kyle Anderson with 5.8 seconds left in the quarter.
And it, right there, DeAndre Jordan going to the rim, and it looked like Kyle Anderson was hit by his own guy. Anthony Edwards there as both were contesting that shot, and
some friendly fire.
And not a bad foul. You know, DeAndre Jordan, a 45% free throw shooter, but certainly Kyle Anderson, so important, and also has played a huge role in this comeback in this third quarter for the Timberwolves.
Looks like the left eye that the athletic trainers are tending to for Anderson, and he went down in a heap. Up to his feet, will gingerly make his way towards the bench, but he is still in a world of pain.
Couldn't tell if he got poked in the eye on that play or something.
Granted, it's amazing. You don't see guys get poked in the eye more often.
Bench.
So they'll take a closer look at Anderson in the locker room. 5.8. Here's DeAndre Jordan, first year with Denver, signed his free agent contract last summer after he was bought out by the Lakers and joined Philadelphia March of last year. It just did not have quite the impact that they were hoping for in Philadelphia. A couple of big free throws here. Look at Anderson walking into the locker room. We'll try to get an update from the Timberwolves. Jordan, 1 of 2 at the strike. Boy, Brown nearly steals the outlet pass. So 2.6 left in the quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns, the inbounder. Throws into Edwards, full head of steam, elevates, off balance, but it nearly went. But the Minnesota Timberwolves take control of Game 4.